Hey there, welcome to or welcome back to No Pants Profits. My name is Richard. I'm coming to you from the dungeon today, where I did a lot of the tech videos and stuff back in the day before we did cruise ship stuff, tech and stock videos. But it is currently the end of April 2025. And there's a company that's still taunting me to this day. They're literally, when I say they're taunting me to this day, they're sending legal takedown notices and trying to get my YouTube channel pulled. It's really funny because what I'm doing is actually exposing the scam. YouTube copyright. Got two of these today. Hello. And if you're wondering if this is them, I mean, obviously it is. It's in Turkish. But here's the funny thing. I want to talk about a video that they put up on me. Something talking very negatively of me as a human. I've never watched this video. I thought it might be a little rough to watch, honestly. This is back when I had 5,000 subscribers. Now we're verging on 25,000 subscribers. This video is voiced over, which you're right here, by Micah Theard. Who is Micah Theard? Well, he's a special individual, but he's this guy right here. This guy right here, who's supposedly representing a giant company and signing deals and signing contracts. I want those people like Ingenico to see who they signed a contract with. So this is an attack video that was made using my name to attack me. I've never watched it. The thing is, it talks about how I'm an alcoholic. Guess what? I'm at home, Micah. I can do what I want. I got a 6-pack of beer, 9% beer, to make it through your bullshit. I've never watched this video before. He did pull this down. Because he realized this was a bad idea, but now we're going to resurface it. Put Ingenico or whatever other partners in the name so they can see what a truly dirtbag Micah is. Now, I never attacked him personally, but he has nothing to attack me on other than what you're about to see in this video. So, you know what? Let's all watch together. We're going to crack open a cold one. He's got too cold in the freezer. But let's crack open a cold one and let's hear Micah talk about what a wonderful human being No Pants Profits is. And you'll see, this is back when we were at 5,000 subscribers. This was posted on the public Miracle Cash and More channel. You'll hear his voice. I don't know if you'll see his picture because he just kind of voiced over this. It was posted in public and taken down a couple months later when he thought probably it wasn't the smartest idea. Sorry, Micah, it's back.
All right. So, people have been sending me this YouTuber's videos, and they're basically saying, "Can we do anything about this?" That's
Nope.
their question to me. So
Fair use, baby.
Seeing it as like a real threat or something. I guess.
I've never watched this video in full.
And I kind of held back on. I said,
Oh,
let's take the high road. Let's build our company.
Miracle.
And
then he puts this out.
Through our success, he will obviously.
You've had no success. I'm making this years later.
Be buried by our success.
Obviously,
his reputation, his name.
And
then I started to think, well, what is his name? What is his reputation? And then I realized that people, they get misled without thinking about
everything I've said about these scumbags is right.
Who they're following. So, I've taken a position of leading.
No,
and so we created, a community and a brand about what I believe is.
Sorry, you created a 15-level pyramid scheme in which 14 levels down, you run out of the population of the Earth. But go on.
Important in life to have peace, to have, freedom and happiness and, a sense of self-worth and pride. So when I looked at what our brand was, and then I was saying, okay, well, what is his brand? Because No Pants Profits.
This guy's about to go on a moron rant. I can't wait for this. I've heard little bits and pieces, but I got 6 beers. 5 left and 1 open, just to listen to this fool.
There's an image there of that you don't, you wake up and.
Oh, we learned after this that Micah likes to have orgies. And he's disappeared for a while because of orgies in Cyprus. Just saying.
You're not showering. you're not, because you're not putting your pants on. You're not getting ready for the day. So you're basically telling yourself, there's a certain communication that happens with yourself and how you live your life. There's someone who's teaching, say, people how to be fulfilled in life, and it starts with like, make your bed, have some self dignity and self worth. And
How
so
is this
his
guy
whole
addressing his
brand
scam?
is around the opposite of that. So
No.
now I say, okay,
Go
well,
on.
let me maybe use this.
We see 5.36 thousand subscribers, and now, hold on. I think my brand's done pretty well, sweetheart. Now we're at, can't show you certain things on this screen, unfortunately. For legal reasons. 24,602 subscribers. So I think I've done pretty well with my brand, Micah.
As a teaching tool, for how to create a great life for yourself. Well, one thing is it's discipline. Having discipline is a huge factor to being fulfilled in life.
I'm very fulfilled with beer, baby.
Discipline, that you are managing your life in a certain way and not indulging too much in certain things, not indulging in the feeling of eating, say, junk food, for instance. There's a certain serotonin thing that triggers in your body.
Remember, this guy's a crypto scammer. Well, formerly he was a pyramid schemer. Now he's a crypto scammer because crypto is an easier way to pyramid scheme. But I want you, as Ingenico or any other company working with this asshole, he's attacking a YouTuber with 5,000 subscribers for telling the truth about his company.
Obviously, drugs and alcohol is also,
I don't do drugs,
something that if you're not disciplined in that, what happens is it starts to tear your life apart. And
you're tearing me apart, Lisa.
So when I looked at what's happening with this YouTuber, I'm like, well, he's advertising his own destruction. And
cool.
The reason I say that, it's not to be ruthless or just say kicking someone when they're down, but maybe this video offers some self-reflection for
Nope,
for Richard.
no self-reflection, baby.
Maybe, but he's kind of ended up in a trap. He's trapped himself because what has happened over time is that his body he's been breaking the machine. The body is a machine that responds to the challenges of being alive. Once our heart stops beating, there's not very long until
this guy's like doing a free ad on my channel. I mean, cool. I should clip it up and make an ad.
your body is back to dust. So when your heart beats, it's maintaining that physical.
And please go back and watch some of these older videos. They're fantastic. The ones with 200 views or 100 views, they're great.
Physical form. Every second, every millisecond of the day, there's a fight between destruction, deterioration, and it's obvious when your heart stops beating, that destruction sets in at an alarming rate. So there's functions that are happening all the time in our bodies that are maintaining our body's ability.
He's doing this
to live.
His recording.
And when you abuse it, you're breaking the machine. And Richard has broken his machine.
Well, sorry, my machine.
If you look at from the very beginning, I've been scrolling down through his channel. He's got close to 1,000 videos, and so he started his YouTube career 2 years ago, and he's building a YouTube channel, but the channel has changed. At first, the way he started it was really in a crypto opportunity fashion.
Oh, opportunity! He thinks I'm pitching Ponzi schemes. The only time you use the word opportunity is when you're pitching a pyramid scheme.
With a project called Tereth Coin.
I was exposing Tereth as a scam.
And so it looks like his angle to marketing is to use clickbait.
Can anybody find anything I've ever done that's clickbait on the entire channel? I'm totally against clickbait. I hate clickbait. So I'm not going to do it to you. Don't do misleading. Don't do clickbait. I just show shit as it is. But go on.
Using the word scam.
Because it is a scam.
And I found out that he's friends with another person who that's their business model.
Casey Jackson
is clickbait, scam, fear-based marketing. A certain kind of person,
my model is truth,
will use that, and probably there's a connection between his branding and his addiction and his
baby,
self-destruction. I believe that someone who abuses themselves to that degree have, they hate themselves and they also hate. When you hate yourself, you hate the world, you hate others. How you treat yourself is how you treat the world.
You guys have met me in real life. I generally don't hate others. I love others. We drink, we gamble, we do good things. But fuck, whatever he's saying, I don't know. I'm almost done with my first beer.
If you treat yourself badly, you're going to treat the world badly. So I would bet that he's probably a person you don't want to be around. So he probably doesn't have a big network.
No. His subscriber base didn't grow 5 times in a year since this video.
I'm talking friends. I'm talking maybe, girlfriend or whatever. I don't know this, but I would imagine.
Thanks, asshole. My girlfriend was murdered.
Imagine that it's hard to be around Richard.
Disagree?
Because he's self-loathing to the point where he's, destroying himself. So if you look, his channel really was about finance. That's what he went to school for. And so maybe he was pushed into.
That's what I went to school for, baby. I do have a background in finance. I am an MBA. And we brought back the financial content. So let's listen to what this idiot's going to say.
Finance, because his parent was there doing it, accounting and stuff. So it's like, if you don't do this.
He did research on my dad. You should do a little bit more research on my dad, Micah. You might find out he works for the Securities and Exchange Commission.
If you don't follow my footsteps, then, and that could be, the effects of his family life and why he is unhappy.
I'm not unhappy.
So, okay, so let's look at how this is happening. So it's really.
This guy's literally doing like a filmography of my channel. I love it.
All about finance in the beginning. I think he's already an alcoholic, but he's not advertising it yet. So the more.
He's already an alcoholic, but he's not advertising it yet.
You kind of go forward in this channel, and then here's sort of, I think, where he gives up on being a finance channel or an opportunity channel.
So here's what's funny. Micah doesn't understand the world. I pivoted from finance as interest rates went up and you were better off holding cash. Sounds strange, but that's why I pivoted out of finance. As the interest rates started going up, people were putting cash instead. You couldn't get interest rates went up. You're going to hoard cash. You're not going to do investments, and it got harder to do IPOs and stuff like that. And I went on one cruise, and it did really well. So I was like, let's go to that niche. And what's weird is we're going back into finance right now. Again, today I'm shooting this in the morning of April 28th. So let's listen.
I think he gives up on that. Advising on crypto and everything. I think maybe 2 years ago, that's when the bear market set in, and no one.
Oh, he understands that.
Was doing well in crypto, and so he's like, okay, so no one cares about this content. What do I do? Then he goes over and says, well, let me instead of creating a new brand, he just takes his finance brand on a cruise ship, It's
done
really like, well. What does that got to do? What does NoProfits got to do? No pants and profits got to do with cruise. Are you on the cruise with no pants?
No pants, baby.
I guess maybe you could translate it, but it's not really what it was, right? It's like, it's saying, stay home, don't leave your house, and make money. You who are going to work, I can show you how to do that. You don't even have to put your pants on. And that, he's like luring these desperate people into his.
Whoa, that's a big one. Hey, we're just going to get drunk when we do this because this guy's a moron. I'm luring desperate people. No, that's what you did with pictures of fucking gophers. Go on, though.
Whatever he was doing at the time. Then he goes over to cruise reviews. This is what the room.
Yeah. And I talk about scams. And yeah. Looks like a lot of finance content there still, baby. There's one cruise review and 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 pieces of finance. So out of 8 videos, 7, I can turn this off so you can see, 7 of them are finance based. What is this fucker talking about?
Looks like, and this is how you can drink alcohol here, and this is how you can gamble. And what's really interesting is he's advertising, gambling,
which is a big thing. After this, they decided they wanted to go after my market. So, they're making a casino that deals in crypto. Sounds like I'm their opportune client. They should want to partner with me. But, let's go on.
It's a system designed to take your money.
So it's a Ponzi scheme, baby.
Right? And then he builds himself up when he's critiquing, our company, as someone who's against systems, that take your money. It's like, okay, you're being a good guy, but you're advertising like a system that's designed to take your money, and then projecting onto us, that type of profile. All right. Well, I digress.
This all looks like finance content. I don't know what you're talking about, Micah.
So this is really about what I'm seeing with Richard. So I don't know. I haven't watched these older videos, but
you haven't watched my videos and you're critiquing them. That's very sad. Ingenico, this guy's personally attacking me and calling me a drunk. I'm only drinking because he says I'm a drunk. I'm drinking at home. I'm safe. I'm not hurting anybody. I'm actually helping the economy. It's a local brewery called Barrel of Monks. They sold me a case of this beer for $48 yesterday. I highly recommend it if you're in the South Florida area.
As you start to leave this finance channel content, you start to now see, and he's still bringing, some finance here. But
he finally admits it. I'm still bringing some finance. Look, everything on that page is finance right now. Everything. But go on.
As he goes, and these are all, he's promoting opportunities. He's promoting.
No, I'm promoting real investments in real companies that are on the stock exchange, not Mediterra, which has 2 broken down cars in the Dominican Republic. No, fuck you, Micah. Fuck you. It's about to get a lot darker. 9% beers.
People contacting him, and he may have some kind of package to sell.
I have nothing to sell you. I opened up YouTube channel memberships 3 weeks ago. I haven't even promoted it. And we have right now, look, I'm not going to lie. This is my first pitch I'm ever going to do for channel memberships. I have 20 members right now who are getting early access to exclusive content. And fuck it. And I'm making $70 a month on that. $69.86 a month on that after YouTube's cut. But I was going to do a Patreon, and then I said, I don't need another fucking tax form. So I was with YouTube's member program, and that seems to be working well so far. Again, if you want to see stuff early, you want to see stuff I just can't put on the internet for everyone to see. There's going to be new gambling content on there and stuff. It's really good. Really good. I'm going to give you some behind the scenes of app development and stuff like that. But let's get back to this asshole.
Maybe we can have someone pursue that with him to see if what he's selling. Anyway, so now he starts to do that, and here he's a Joe Biden supporter and fan. So
wow, I'm not a Joe Biden supporter and fan, baby. You're a moron. Micah Theard is a moron. I'll be honest with you. I went to go see Joe Biden speak because I wanted to see if he was as bad as it was on TV, and it wasn't. I'm a Trump supporter. I did vote for Hillary in 2016. I voted for Trump in 2020 and 2024. Financially, I'm questioning some of those things right now, but that's for another time. But I'm not a Joe Biden supporter. Don't try that shit.
Goes to that. So now it's politics. So he's starting to just say, you know, let me just try and see.
And then there's all kinds of, look, is Starstake is a security under the Howey test, baby. Starstake just collapsed. I called Starstake a scam long before any of y'all knew it was a scam. But again, we're talking about miracle cash and more. The second you bring Jesus into something, he fucks it up.
What is my bread and butter in this channel? And also you think, you know, he's going on cruises. Cruises are like, there's a lot of people that are on top of each other there. So maybe.
What is he talking about? A lot of people on top of each other. It's like your orgies you like, Micah. If you think Micah's a good Christian man, he has orgies in northern Cyprus all the time. But I digress. Another beer soon.
He's lonely, so he goes.
I'm not lonely, baby.
By himself. And there's all.
I go, what? Did he say I go by myself?
And also you think, you know, he's going on cruises. Cruises are like, there's a lot of people that are on top of each other there. So maybe he's lonely, so he goes by himself.
Huh. Micah, you're talking out your fucking ass. Ingenico, fucking get rid of Miracle Cash and more. They're scammers. They're literally attacking someone who's telling the truth about their company. If you want the truth about their company, reach out. They said, honestly, they said never put Miracle Cash and Ingenico together in a post because then Ingenico will realize we're a multi-level marketing scam. That's why they need this shit gone. That's why they're sending copyright. That's why they're sending copyright claims to me because, yeah. Because, yeah. They're sending these copyright claims because if Ingenico finds these videos with their name and Micah Theard on it and does a little bit of research, they're fucked.
And there's also, you know, it's a place where you can drink without shame. You can get, S-faced.
Shit-faced, motherfucker. You get shit-faced at your orgies, Micah. Don't lie.
Without shame, right? Because that's what it's all about. Only he does it all the time. So maybe he feels more at home on a cruise because everybody's doing it.
If you would have looked, I worked on ships for 7 years and I've cracked how to get on cruises for essentially free by gambling just the right amount and then walking away. If you've watched my videos before, you know I get to the amount of points I need and I stop gambling. I'll continue drinking on the casino's dime, but, you know, I'll stop gambling. I have very much control in my life. That's what you're not seeing, Micah. I watch every fucking move you make. I'm like Sting. Every breath you take, I'll be watching you. This Ingenico thing, you got listed on a fucking app store and you're celebrating it like it's the coming of Christ. No, it's not. You're a scammer, you're a scumbag, and you love orgies. You know, that's the one thing that me and Micah might get along on. We both love orgies. I'm just saying.
Cruise. The only thing is most people that go home, they stop. He doesn't stop, you know, continues. So then he's kind of advertising it on cruises. And then
wait. That's all finance content. I want you to know. I showed people how to make soda water at home. It's finance content, but no, he doesn't care.
And he starts maybe to tell himself that it's okay.
It's okay. Then I went to Italy. I went to Poland. Okay, Mike, I really want it. This timeline is fantastic. Thank you for telling the story of NoPantsProfits through your perverted ass view. And guess what? More beer, baby.
To advertise it when he's not on a cruise. And what he doesn't realize is like, he's advertising a sort of...
you are the one that's making a crypto casino.
Say almost a sad existence. And he doesn't...
Oh, wait. Oh, look, there's finance content. There's brewery content. Yeah, look. Sorry, Micah. Your narrative's not working here.
Realize it, right? Because it's all fun. You know, Carnival, yeah, everybody's drinking. It's fun.
92,000 views, Micah. Give me something of yours that has 92,000 views on it. Go fuck off, asshole.
But when you're sitting at home with your computer and literally drinking, 3/4 of a bottle of whiskey, anyone who's not an alcoholic, or even those who are, is going to recognize exactly what that is. So let me...
I can't watch this shit sober. That's why I drink.
Pump off this view for a minute, and then let me go on to show the science of this and how
he's gonna show the science of how alcohol hurts the brain. While I'm, guys, if you're wondering, where's the percentage there? I don't know. It's a 9% beer. I gotta light it up. I'll find where it is. Give me a second.
what's happening with Richard's body.
There was a moment there where I really
Idiot doesn't even pay for YouTube Premium.
thought I was going to pass out.
Oh,
No, this is a
9%.
commercial, but
It's a commercial because I don't pay for YouTube Premium. Look. 9% alcohol by volume. Baby, let's go.
Alcohol, or more specifically ethanol, affects brain functions in several ways.
But yet, you're still putting takedowns on my video. So you know what? Micah might live in Northern Cyprus, but I live in his head, rent-free, baby.
Alcohol is
so
activities, depending on the...
So here it's saying, when you drink, you end up
with what?
Getting a good feeling from it because of how the alcohol affects your brain.
Orgies
so
too,
you
baby.
get that sense of euphoria and you feel good because the brain is adapting to the toxic nature of alcohol. And that's why people drink. They want that feeling. But when you go too far with it, the function of the body starts to break down. And that's what they're talking about here.
The concentration of ethanol in the blood, alcohol's depressant effect can range from slight drowsiness to blackout or even respiratory failure and death.
No problem.
Chronic or long-term consumption of alcohol, however, produces an opposite effect on the brain. This is because sustained inhibition caused by prolonged alcohol exposure eventually activates the brain adaptation response. In attempts to restore the equilibrium, the brain decreases GABA inhibitory and increases glutamate excitatory functions to compensate for the alcohol's effect. As the balance tilts towards excitation, more and more alcohol is needed to achieve the same inhibitory effect. This leads to overdrinking and eventually addiction. If alcohol consumption is abruptly reduced...
Micah's addicted to MLMs, multi-level marketing schemes, Ponzi schemes. Yeah. One coin, baby.
...or discontinued at this point, an ill feeling known as withdrawal syndrome may follow.
So that's, I think, what happened during the time, these 2 years. Maybe before, I don't know. But you can see a change in
I figured out how to rob cruise ship casinos, baby. That's all it is.
His entire person from the early videos. If you go to his channel,
but if you go to the early videos, I was taking down crypto scammers, and you go to this time, I'm taking down crypto scammers, and you're looking right now, I'm taking down crypto scammers. So, yeah.
Look at the early videos. He's more composed. Then
I'm very composed right now, baby.
Really, at this point, he's just kind of losing himself in the...
I'm losing myself in your bullshit. That's where I'm losing myself.
Addiction,
This is because the brain is now hyper-excitable if not balanced by the inhibitory effect of alcohol. Alcohol withdrawal...
That's what happens when Micah's orgies end.
...syndrome is characterized by tremors,
You're watching this. Micah does orgies, sorry.
Hallucinations, agitation, and confusion.
I'm getting agitated.
Excess
right.
calcium produced by overactive glutamate receptors during withdrawal is toxic and may cause brain damage. Withdrawal-related anxiety also contributes to alcohol-seeking behavior and continued alcohol abuse. Thank you.
Right. So it gets to that place where his body, it doesn't function.
Micah, you're not even a fucking subscriber? The gophers in the corner, you're not a subscriber? You should subscribe, come on. I mean, I know he's subscribed on some accounts because he knows when these videos come out. 9 o'clock tomorrow morning when this video drops. He's going, hey, Micah Theard. I'm a turd.
The way it used to when he was sober. So it becomes harder and harder to stay away from the alcohol because his body it's broken. And, the weight gain is for sure part of that.
Wow. I'm actually down like 25 pounds, but go on.
I'm 55. I'm going to go back just to show that now it's like an advertisement for alcoholism. And he's not
And yet you are creating a crypto casino.
Noticing how inappropriate it is, really, because probably
he's literally showing, look, there's the video he watched, exposing Boogie Gopher Club. He watched the whole thing. See that line on the bottom? I'd love to see his account again. Like, I literally went to Auschwitz and this guy's talking shit.
He's like on the cruises and everybody's having fun, da-da-da-da. That's where he feels.
And honestly, that's where I found Miracle Cash, bottom right-hand corner. First time I was in a monastery. I was really bored one night because we were in the middle of nowhere. There was nowhere to drink or anything like that. So that first video on Miracle Cash and more, let me see if I can find it. It had 1.7 thousand views a year or so ago. Let me see how many it has now.
Home, that's where he feels like he's got his friends, maybe.
But you said I don't have friends a few minutes ago, Micah.
And then he becomes more and more lonely, I would imagine.
Nope.
And, trying to have, a
2.2 thousand views now.
Relationship as an alcoholic is not a great thing. And also, obviously, having kids as an alcoholic is the worst. I had some people that I know that had parents that were, alcoholics, and they got, all kinds of challenges
What's this guy talking about?
from that, because it's a very terrible disease. Okay. So
thank you for advertising my channel.
Then he's talk about now, and I think there's part of this too that and I remember when I was a kid, there were certain kids in school that came to school with anger, and they would find someone to take that anger out, to abuse someone publicly. And what he's doing with our company is a form of bullying. If he was
You're bullying me right now, calling me an alcoholic, asshat.
Interested in the truth, he could have contacted us and said, hey,
we talked.
I'm seeing, what you're doing online. And
I even asked Ed Terranova some questions the other day. They're just an app in Ingenico's app store. That's all they did. They're not a partner or anything like that. They're not a partner with anyone. They've bought into shit and called themselves partners with these companies.
I want to confirm that you're not out to hurt people. If that was his actual agenda, the first step is to actually see what the company would respond to, whatever, his accusations are. Our doors have always been open to anyone who wants to come visit and look at what we're doing as a company. Then he takes a position, of really using very derogatory rhetoric against me and the people that work with the company. He's taken a position of being an SEC lawyer, it seems. We have
I have lawyers, yeah.
Our own lawyers that we consult with all the time, but on his video. And then he also uses like very
bad potty mouth things what he's about to say.
It's a method of ridicule. This is like Marxism.
No, so let me tell you what I do. When I deal with these scumbags, I deal with, you might know it currently as the John Oliver School of Thought. If I call this guy a scumbag or a dipshit, that's fine. The John Oliver School of Thought, you can't get screwed for calling someone a scumbag or a dipshit. I'm just drinking right now. So whatever comes out of my mouth is just an alcoholic talking to a camera in a dark void. But here's where it gets funny. It actually dates back to Penn and Teller. Penn and Teller had a show called Fool Us that was on HBO many, many, many moons ago. And I learned from that, if you call someone a dipshit or say they like orgies, just absurd things that may or may not be true. Micah does love orgies, though. It's harder to sue.
Marxism, part of the strategy is to ridicule your opponent.
Guys, who's been calling someone an alcoholic for the last 34 minutes? Okay, cool, just checking.
And that's his strategy. And, you know, that's usually kind of a communism type leftist political type
I am a Republican, you fucking moron.
of attack, because
You could have seen I'm a registered Republican in Florida. You can look it the fuck up, you dumbass.
you ridicule your opponent. People are very afraid of being ridiculed. So, you know, it's an effective thing. And he knows that. So he's using that on the internet.
Cool. Well, you don't want Miracle Cash and More and Ingenico mentioned in the same statement. Hold on, I'll pull it up. So that's what I'm going to do.
And then, you know, our community is based on, you know, health and faith is part
Fucking faith. God is fake, dumbass.
of it. CWS, trifecta. There's 3 pillars. Finance is one. It's just one. Finance doesn't.
Remember what he said. He said, please do not, important notice, do not create or publish any videos that reference Miracle Pay or Ingenico directly. Actually, fuck that. We're going to call this Miracle Pay, not Miracle Cash and More. They don't want to look, and it says right here, these major corporations don't want to be publicly associated with network marketing. Oops. Let's go on, baby.
Make anybody happy. It makes it a lot easier, you know, in life. But if you don't have your sort of, I would say, spiritual center, I think you don't have access to peace, you know, because I think faith is peace. And if you don't have your health, you don't have anything. So we have that as part of us. So then in his video, he's sitting and drinking 3/4 of a bottle of whiskey. Cool. And he's saying that
telling the truth.
Faith doesn't belong in business. It belongs in church.
Yep.
And at the same time, he's doing business and being kind of like he's being at the bar at the same time.
Correct. The truth comes out at the bar. Lies come out if you're not drinking. Every time I do business, every time I enter a new business deal with someone, I meet them at a bar. We have cold drinks. If they say they don't drink, you know what happens? We don't do business. It's like the old Wild West. We got bars nowadays that are like saloons, baby. It's like the old Wild West. Hoo-ha-ha! Johnny Bravo, for some reason. I just wanted to do Johnny Bravo there. It might be the 9% beer talking. I'm halfway through my beer. And we're not halfway. We're almost halfway through the Scumbags video. I got to slow it down a little bit. Go on, Micah.
And criticizing faith. So that is so absurd to me. God. Let's see. And
if they weren't afraid of me, they wouldn't be trying to copyright strike me.
He's using this, you know, he's using his platform to basically sabotage,
But you're saying I use my platform to be an alcoholic on cruise ships. What are we talking about?
Our companies. He's sabotaging our investors, our people. And he took...
I'm telling your investors to not invest because it's a pyramid scheme, Ponzi scheme, everything like that.
The, I guess, liberty to go after us without actual doing any vetting at all.
I did my vetting, baby.
He didn't contact us to say, hey, you know, I think you guys are criminals. Can you prove to me that your project is real? And
it's not real.
How do you do that with a tech company? Well, there's a lot of ways to do that. You can actually audit the tech. You can audit the code. You can verify.
Oscar wrote it backstage at the fucking Miami event.
That there's been...
I will be in New Orleans for your New Orleans event, right outside the event.
Investments made in the technology. It's either just fake, a front, or there is something real. And so when I invested in Miracle, I did that. I looked, I said, okay, show me these products, show me that you've built them, show me that they work.
People wouldn't understand a code audit. I am actually a finance guy and a crypto guy and a code guy. Show me a code audit. Show me that this thing is more than an app with Ingenico. That's all it is.
And, you know, they were still obviously development stage. They were not mainnet yet, but you know,
And still nothing's made yet, years later.
I looked at everything. I looked at, and they demonstrated, and so I saw with my own eyes
one of my favorite videos right here. They pulled it down because they said this was with the Gophers. This is me, Casey, Oscar, who actually worked for them, and Eric from Stop Struggling Now.
Technology before I moved forward and before I actually opened this up to our community. I checked the contracts. So there is a way to verify that Miracle Cash and more is doing what we say we're doing. And now there's more and more proof every day. You know, someone can go to Amsterdam and walk into the store and, you know, do a transaction with us. You know, we have our entire community, thousands of people who regularly go to the exchange, and they're selling
and yet they can't buy your coin on the exchange because you white labeled another exchange. Sorry.
Their Miracle token and getting USDT, and then they're, you know,
Miracle token. Oh, this is before they made the bullshit for Phonic. Oh, that was last summer. Gosh, I feel like Olaf in summer.
Drawing that, and it's so much proof that we are real. But now, because it's coming more and more, and he didn't do his actual research when he started, now he's just trying to save his face by continuing to actually attack our company, trying to actually divert people from us, and therefore causing a revenue decrease for us.
I live rent free in your head, baby. That's what you're trying to say. Love you, Micah.
And actually trying to bring us down. Him and Casey Jackson are doing it. And I think now it's starting to be that they're just trying to do it to save face.
We're doing it for the memes, baby. Casey, I know you're still here. For the memes, baby.
Because they're starting to see like, oh my God, wait a minute.
There's nothing real.
They might be actually real. And here I am. I've been sabotaging them now for 4 months. Now, this is going to be a very
multiple years, not 4 months. Come on, baby.
Impactful negative thing on my brand and me as a person. And it's coming. And, you know, because they've been so, you know, so aggressive and so unfair, I'm definitely not going to let them off the hook.
Oh, yeah.
And so that the cost to us is going to be a cost right back to them. So
close attention. Oh, he still hasn't paid for his YouTube premium. The cost for them is going to be a cost right back to me. Well, I'm still taking cruises, drinking alcohol, Micah. Cost, baby.
Into this.
The first thing you do, if you take any legal action in the United States, that opens you up for discovery. Okay, which means all your books are shown. And the second you have an American investor that's not an accredited investor that's invested in your thing, you're going to get slapped by the SEC. And I'm a drunk guy on video. Do you know why? Oh, I can't spoil that secret. Why I drink during all these videos? There's a reason. Sorry, can't talk about that.
Energy flows to where attention goes. If you are focusing on...
Okay, let's listen.
It's a commercial.
Making money on ads, yeah, baby.
He's making.
I've grown 5 times bigger than when you made this video a year ago.
Making money off of doing this from YouTube. YouTube is paying him to sabotage us.
Lack,
sabotage, tell the truth, same thing.
Yeah, we told YouTube like, hey, he's sabotaging us using our content, our videos, and they say, oh, it's fair use. So I think YouTube
it is,
knows
baby. It is fair use.
That this is a moneymaker for them. So
he's going against fucking Google. What a moron. I can't wait to see what's coming up here. I got 2.5 more beers. Let's do this. I didn't think I could get through this whole 6-pack, but go on.
About it. You know,
fair use is law. If you commentary on a video, they can't take the video down because you're making it transformative. I'm proving I'm an alcoholic on video. There you go, Micah.
I think what we will do is, a little bit further down the line,
A year later, what are they going to do? They've done nothing.
We'll take some legal action on
Nope, sorry.
him. Yeah. So, okay. Anyway, so let's get to this, just so I can now show you where's he at this stage in his life. And in this video, this is now in January, so 2 years has gone since he was kind of the financial guy. Now he's
Still a financial guy.
Now he's kind of the alcoholic, not ashamed of, any of that, just sort of advertising alcoholism, which I think is part of maybe the brain damage that has happened.
Oh, the brain damage. Calcium.
And him saying,
calcium in the brain.
"There's nothing I can do. I'm screwed. I've destroyed my machine, the body."
And yet, my finance content that I just brought back is doing really fucking well. But go on, asshole.
And I can't fight it, so I'm just...
I can't fight this feeling anymore.
Giving into it.
The value of your money. Like Ray was,
More and more people log off if there's something.
He's showing his crimes. Oh my god, you're digging your own hole, Micah. Why do you say this shit out loud? So you're gonna go DeFi, so you're not regulated, but you want to be regulated so you can run your stores. Wow, he didn't like that.
Okay, so so his commentary is just arbitrarily all over the place.
You want to be regulated, and you're going DeFi, so you're not regulated. I think that was great commentary. Thank you, Richard, from years ago. You did a great job. That held up over time.
We have several different companies. One is
several different companies. Let's hear his scam here.
Miracle Cash and More. The other one is Phoenix, based in Switzerland. And, we're a technology company with different technology solutions. So one of those solutions is building a decentralized exchange. Now,
You still don't have your own blockchain. Oh, he's going to talk about laws. Oh, let's listen to this.
States have certain... they actually don't have any regulation right now. They have what is the Securities Exchange Commission's regulations, but they don't have crypto regulations. They haven't introduced that yet.
Asking people for
so
money.
it all falls
They're
into the Securities Exchange Commission, and all they are doing is trying to enforce what is really laws that were made for the stock, like stocks, securities, and publicly traded companies.
So they can do crime because
and the financial sector, not the crypto sector. So they're kind of going into that to the crypto world, which in the beginning they weren't even saying that it had anything to do with that. Now more and more, because there are no regulations, they're somewhat forced to go.
You realize what he's admitting out loud, right? We can do crime because no one says it's crime.
Into that. And what they really need to do is actually write true crypto regulations. And they should be different than the financial securities regulatory framework. It should be different because it is different. When you hold a crypto in your wallet, you control that crypto. When you send crypto to someone else, there's no third party involved. So basically, that is 100% different, because when you hold your money in a bank, the bank is responsible for that money.
He's trying to justify his crime right now. Let's listen.
When you hold your crypto in your wallet, you're responsible for that liquidity asset. When you send it to someone else, it's just you and that person in that transaction.
Yeah, but that's also a taxable event, baby.
So you are 100% responsible. And I believe that the crypto world is all about responsibility, personal responsibility for your own stuff. In the securities or in the bank world, in the old legacy system, the banking system, the banks are liable for every transaction.
FDIC.
And they control the money. You don't.
Yeah.
When your money is in the bank, it's the bank's money. because they can block you from accessing your bank account. So
and yet you have taken people's money and you've put nodes and bullshit like that, and they can't get their money out.
You do not have control there, and it's a completely different environment. The crypto environment said, let me be
yeah, that's Bitcoin, not your bullshit shit.
Responsible for my money, when I send it, how I hold on to it, and what I do with it. It's my responsibility. No one has to be liable for me. It's a more responsible system, independent from that. So there should be independence in the regular.
So we can scam people. That's what he's trying to say. He's trying to justify his scamming and not needing people to be accredited investors to buy his coin. Look, majority of people buying this shit are American. There was a promoter. I don't think she's a promoter anymore. I think she fell out. I really do think she fell out. Kathy Keene, Melanie Anderson, Americans. They're promoting this to other Americans. Yes, they have a couple international investors, but again, these are expatriates, Micah Theard, Ray Vidrio, expats from America that have gone to Northern Cyprus. Ed Terranova, still in America. Ed, you're going to prison. Oh shit, I said it out loud. Whatever, alcohol. Ed's going to prison. He just doesn't know it yet. You should probably leave America, Ed. I would recommend the Turkish Republic of Northern Cyprus or Dubai. They don't extradite for financial crimes to America.
Regulations of crypto as well. A little bit more of, okay, play at your own risk, you know? And they've already done these things and regulated systems that are designed to even to take your money.
Or he's just
the lottery is designed to take your money.
Casinos are designed to take your money. And what did you do right after this video? You said, we're going to make a crypto casino.
And it's a government-run system. It's not there to provide value to you. It's there to fundraise for the government. And it's legal for them to take your money that way. Gambling.
Bitch better have my money. Oh, he said gambling. Don't pay me what you owe me. He's going to talk shit about gambling right now. And right after this, they made a crypto casino.
It's the same thing. Casinos are there to take your money, but it's a regulated system that allows that company to take your money, because it says that, out of 100% of money that goes in, a percentage of that money is going to be losses from those who play. And predictably, if you play long enough, you will end up, they will take your money. So maybe that goes in under some kind of entertainment clause.
It does.
Because again, that's also an area where you're playing around with your own body's chemicals.
Oh,
you get
serotonin.
The, endorphins of winning when you win. And then when you're losing, you get that opposite ill feeling. And then you're chasing the high, and you chase the high, and you chase the high. And so maybe that's what they charge you for. Well, this weekend you got high, you got low, you got high, got low, and it cost you $10,000. Maybe that's how they justify that there is a system that's legally designed, that's designed to take your money, and it's legal. Okay.
That's what you did.
So,
casino.
Richard is only there to sabotage our company, and he lies and lies and lies to do it.
No, I don't lie.
Back to back to back to back, he's lying.
Oh. Go on.
Contract. Then you can get your trade to go through.
What is he talking about?
I'm talking about decentralized exchange and the nature of a smart contract, that when you put a smart contract out,
I know exactly what he means.
The first thing that people will notice is that they don't have to identify themselves.
No KYC.
They don't have to do KYC. It stays as only crypto. It doesn't go into touching any fiat currencies. There's no dollars, no euros that are exchanged on a decentralized exchange. So it stays in that lane. But because of it being basically a smart contract that connects buyers and sellers, It's just a software program. So the
there's
software
no taxes,
program
nothing. It doesn't
has no
regulation.
the rules and regulations are hard to enforce onto basically a code. It's not a company, it's a
Trying to
code,
rationalize their
right?
scam.
So you place this code out there and it has all these rules and regulations. I mean, rules built into the smart contract. Those rules are transparent, so you know exactly what's happening, you know, and it's connecting people together to perform a certain function. I believe that people should be able to, if they want, throw their money in the ocean. If you want to throw your
In the last year, we've added 16,977 subscribers. Just want to let you know.
money in the ocean, you can. It's your money. If you want to put your money into a trading platform that offers leverage,
What's that? That's Miracle. That's Leveler. He's talking about things, scams coming in the future. Oh, guys, I know this scam. I've watched it every step of the way. I feel like a member of this cult. I would love to have the cult pin, but my lawyer says I can't wear the cult pin anymore because I'm making content for my own app, and they said you can't have a branded Kool-Aid man. And I was like, okay.
and you end up losing your money because you did that, then you should be able to do that as long as the rules are set forth and you understand them.
They're also now in the Forex market quietly. And as soon as there's a black swan event, it's going to wipe everyone out. But shh, don't tell them that.
It's like a casino. You go in a casino, it says, here's the rule. You know, this is the rule. You put your money on 23. There's 1 and how many is it? 36 plus 2 zeros? It's 1 in 30.
1 in 38, baby. Or 39 if there's 3 zeros.
8 chance that it'll hit 23. And if it doesn't hit 23, we're going to take your money. But if it hits 23, we're going to give you whatever that multiple is. I don't know if it's 36 or whatever. So those are the rules. And the same thing with the decentralized exchange. It's all in front of people. And he's pretending that he's the morally superior.
I am. Guys, you watch my channel. I give you the truth. I don't lie. Tell you as I see it. When some shit goes down, I'll tell you the shit that goes down. There's a reason I've gone from 5,360 subscribers to nearly 25,000. I don't lie to you. I'll tell you the truth. Let's go back to this asshat.
In a sense of like, oh, well, if you do this, you're going against the SEC's rule.
Yeah, you are.
All right. So his commentary,
all right, don't care,
basically is, you know, his own worldview continuously being, you know, used
people are liking
in a way to make, you know, people think that something unethical, illegal is going on with our company.
It is.
Absolutely not.
Yeah, it is.
The world doesn't even know where it's going to go when it comes to the United States. What is going to be allowed and what is not going to.
Look, Micah, at the end of the day, I'm going to be right here. I can drink my beer. Know you're going to fail. You know how I know you're going to fail? Because every week you have more and more meetings trying to get more and more suckers in. And those suckers ain't joining, baby. Because they're not putting up with your shit.
Going to be allowed has not even been written into law yet. It's the SEC that's going after companies, and then the companies are defending themselves, and some of the cases are being won by the companies and some are being lost because there is no president yet.
Precedent, not president.
Fully. There's no specific law that has been written. No regulations have been introduced in the United States, but it's coming in Europe, for instance. And because
Micah,
there is a specific framework there on the Miracle Cash and More side, you know, as we are at an exchange, and that's a separate company from Cashflow. It's an exchange.
Of course, separate companies.
Exchange. And those
it's a white label exchange. They're not exchanging themselves, or else they'd be able to sell their own coin. See, it's a white label exchange that's selling other things. Look, if they had a real exchange, they'd be able to sell their coin on the real exchange, but they can't. So they have to use third-party exchanges to sell their coins. Oh, did I hit a truth bone? Oh, sorry. I'm only 5 years in.
Regulations are, they're there, and each country has a certain
I've never heard
regulatory framework, and we have achieved that we're open in Holland, we're open now in Turkey, and we are very, very soon to open in Germany and the rest of the
Where's the Germany one? A year later. Year and a half later. Where's Germany?
Countries. And so that is actual fact. And
it's the truth, it's factual. Everything is satisfactual. Zip what it do da.
Richard's sitting basically calling us
scumbags,
criminals for running a crypto company.
You are criminals. They have to build a DeFi exchange. You are taking American investors that are not accredited investors and taking them for money. You're criminals. Sorry.
Mathematician, you need obviously.
So we have a lot of different products in our company. Now, let's again.
Go ahead, Micah. Dig this hole deeper.
Now that we're on our video and Richard is...
I'm back in the same place, baby.
Throughout this video, he continues to get more and more.
Looking to launch your online store?
More ads. Thank you, baby. Micah. You've paid me by watching these ads. I love you. Micah, I love you. You're a fucking moron, but I love you. You could have downloaded the video, played it back like I'm doing, so I don't have to fucking play the ads. But, I know you've made this video private, and that's why I've had to voice over through the whole thing, because you're attacking me, I'm responding. DMCA says, you can say what you want, but guess what? So for those of you who don't understand what I'm talking about, so they said there was a copyright takedown for my video. But here's where it gets fun. You know what it says right here? It says, YouTube will not remove your video at this time. Why? Because there's an except. We believe your content is protected by fair use, fair dealing, or a similar exception to copyright protection. We're ready to let you know that we will not remove your video. Look, you can see when this was. This was earlier today. I was going to have a nice brunch. And I pull in for brunch and I get this bullshit. Micah, just stop it. I'm going to bring your scam down.
What he wants is for you to see him as the leader.
I am the leader. I'm the
so
now. Look at me.
When you look at Richard as the leader, then you're emulating.
Have I tried to sell you guys anything ever? No, I
haven't. Someone who's basically sick. He's destroyed himself, his own body. And to have him be your leader, for you to follow and listen to this man, you basically are saying, I look up to him and he should be the one to tell me and educate me in life on how to live my life.
That's life.
As you can see, what it's his own version of how life should be lived is killing himself.
No, I'm good.
It's a suicidal progression. And an abuse of his own ability to, have peace, be happy, and live a good life. He's destroying that with his addiction and abuse to himself.
And yet I'm putting out 3 videos a day.
Dropshipping store in just 5 minutes with.
Because
just look at this. Even his own people have turned their shit off and walked away. You got Melanie, you got Ray. They walked the fuck away. They can't deal with this bullshit. Melanie left their scam. You know why? Because they don't know how to use happy juice. You have to use the happy juice.
Right. There's a commercial.
For the happy juice. Thank you to MSC Yacht Club who gave me a bottle of Jack Daniels I could use to take these fuckers down.
And that's what the video was saying. It's saying that what the brain does when you drink, it gives you that chemical, and now the body is now starting to, when he's not drinking, he's starting to feel terrible not
Nope.
being drunk.
No.
So now he's got to do more and more and more of it, and you can see it
I tell people, they go, "What do you do for a living?" I go, "I'm Batman." They're like, "What do you mean I'm Batman?"
clearly because that bottle of Jack is 3/4 of it he drinks in these 2 hours because he needs
I got to listen to your fucking bullshit. That's why.
to consume that much just to reach the same level he did with a drink or two when he first started drinking. So the body continues to deteriorate over time,
machine,
and at some point he can't even be sober and get through the day.
I get sober through the day all the time.
Look at his, his face here. His eyes are glazed over. So when you freeze frame it, when his mouth isn't running, and that energy coming from him, it's like it's so full of anger and hate.
Satan.
That it's hard to listen to him. That's why I keep stopping it, because it's really
you keep stopping it because eventually I'm going to continue to make points that you're a scumbag and scammer. But go on.
Sad case, right? But look at his eyes.
I'm in a dark
room, because the poison and the alcohol is now sort of paralyzing his brain, and so his eyes glaze over, and it's like he's not even really there anymore, because so much of actual perception is basically put to sleep by the alcohol.
To see belly dancing and eat filet mignon, even though I've heard in Europe the filet is not very good, but the filet is not very good in Europe. American filet mignon is much better. Oh, we're finally going to get off the screen that has nothing to do with anything that you're talking about. Let's go on. Back to full screen scam.
She's like, they're $800 each, and they're developing these games.
Gala nodes.
I'm just telling a story about buying Gala nodes. You guys can watch our video. And how Kathy
Keene, who's
told
left
me
their
about
company.
those nodes when they were $800. Now they're over $90,000. I bought some at $13,000.
She calls me fat bastard. So Kathy, if you're watching, get in my belly. The only money that anybody made from Miracle Cash and More is from referring people to come in. They pay the referral bonuses right away. You know why? Because it's an MLM. It's a Ponzi scheme. It's a pyramid scheme. It goes 15 levels deep. Once you go 14 levels deep, you've exceeded the population of Earth. But guess what? They go 15 levels deep. Fuck them. Fuck them. That's all I'm going to say.
$1,000, and he has a problem with that.
I do have a problem with that. I think he even left you. You want to talk about that? I'm not going to fast forward anything because I don't want anything to get out of context. But I'm going to let him talk about people being responsible for their actions. Because he said, you're going to be millionaires by Christmas. And now you must be responsible for your own actions. Here you go.
So, of course, everything we do and everything we talk about where we're...
He didn't want people to hear that, did they? Hacker networks. They did big parties and stuff like that. Sorry to tell you, your money's gone. But I did tell people their money was gone years ago.
No, he's, again, drunker and drunker and drunker.
No, that's just my personality, baby.
Here's him drinking again. That was like, it was, I don't know if it was half whiskey and half soda. So the soda is full of
sugar, baby. Corn syrup.
Corn syrup. Corn syrup is extremely bad for you. It turns off your...
this guy has an IQ of like 4. That's all I'm going to say.
Your brain's function to say that you're full. It is one of the culprits in why
obesity,
the American population has gained so much weight over the years. It's worse than sugar.
It is.
And sugar is very bad for you. It's another drug. So corn syrup mixed with alcohol together, drinking it all day, every day.
I don't drink it all day, every day.
I mean,
only when I have to listen
Richard's
to your
like
shit.
one burrito away from like literally having a heart attack.
Well, I'm here years later. Still
the worst abuse of the body is that combination. Let's see.
He keeps playing things that I'm right on. Go ahead, play it. What am I going to say that I'm right on now?
Okay, so he's sitting by himself in a dark room in the middle of the night doing this.
Yeah.
So he's basically talking to a machine.
Yep.
And I think what that does is makes you feel like that you have a connection to people.
I do.
His views and his videos gives him, some joy to sort of combat that loneliness that you get when you are an alcoholic. I mean, people start turning away from you.
This guy's a moron.
Because your personality change and everything. You become very unpleasant. Because you're always in a bad mood when you're sober. Because of that effect of destroying.
Which makes me happy for fucking destroying this scam.
Destroying how the brain regulates, and how you naturally would feel good, that's gone now. So now it's like, if it's not drunk, he doesn't feel good. And if he doesn't feel good, he's going to be unpleasant to be around.
No, to be very apparent. But imagine him for a minute, if you will. Hey, I'm Rod Sterling, and welcome to The Twilight Zone. Imagine, if you will, a company that wants to be known for openness. You won't play it. I can actually sing pretty good. To scale me.
Yeah, it's kind of sad.
No, it's not.
All right. So,
express myself.
So he's been trashing, our company for.
That's not really a company, but go on.
I don't know if it's 2 hours now.
Yeah.
So let me now give everyone just a better understanding of what a technology company is and what the value is. Since he's been saying that we're completely, out of our minds and it's not a real project and we have no value, blah, blah, blah. Okay. So he didn't do any vetting of us, real vetting. All he did was watch videos. So he has no idea what we have because he never even attempted.
Oh, good God. You literally, as of, when did you say this? 1:48 p.m. somewhere. You literally told people not to mention your company along with Ingenico. That's why all of my titles have just said Ingenico.
To find out what we have. How do you find out if a tech company is real or not? Well, the way you do that and how it actually works.
There's no blockchain.
Is you will, a tech company says, I have this technology and this is what it does. And this is, the value of the technology. Well, you're not going to actually, if you're coming in with a big investment, you're not going to just take that company's word for it.
Correct.
And you will need to have someone or a company audit their code. And when they do, the proof is in the pudding. It's either there or it's not there. Now, because of our model of word of mouth, friend telling friends, we started basically with that. I vetted the company. Now, I didn't bring a tech person. Actually, this is something that I learned later on. I didn't bring a tech person to audit the code.
Because there's no code.
It's, first of all, you got to sort of understand it on that level to do that. And then you have to have the people to do it. And at the time, that wasn't my position. So
yeah, fuck you. I just want to make it
met with Hakan. I spent 5-6 months with him. And as I was spending the time with him, I was having long conversations, discovering different things. Then I looked at, because his presentation had to do with fire blocks and all this. So I looked at those contracts. Does he have the contract? And I did. I vetted the contract and I looked at it and there it's signed. Okay, great. I had them demonstrate the products that he said he had built. So he demonstrated the exchange because at the time, what Miracle was when I first met with them was kind of buy and sell. And they had built the exchange, but it wasn't being used because in Cyprus there wasn't a big.
I gotta go pee.
I can say
Sorry,
how this
turn my shit off for a minute.
goes, but at the time it wasn't worth investing in pushing people towards the exchange. There was other priorities as a company. And people can argue whether or not the approach to how we've done this is the right way to do it or not. But, this is where we are at as a company, and this is how everything has evolved. Anyway, long story short, after 5 months of me looking at everything, looking at the Miracle Pay, having them showcase how it works, seeing that the crypto moved from one place to another through the system, those things can't happen unless you have the code and the code is working, and you can't demonstrate a product before it's finished. As far as like, it has to do the thing that you say it does. And I did. I went in, I deposited money into the exchange. I bought.
Hold up, I'm back. You know why he was able to do all those things? Because they white labeled someone else's exchange. Sorry, I had to pee. Gotta finish this beer. Have one more. Got like half an hour of this bullshit left. No, 25 minutes of this bullshit left. 23 minutes of this bullshit left. Let's listen.
Some coins. So, I did all these things. And then I also looked at Hakan's history,
Hakan the scammer who had to leave the UK, flee to Turkey, then got kicked out of Turkey, went to the Turkish Republic of Northern Cyprus, then bought off the presidential palace off. Fuck. Why am I telling too much truth?
He comes out of basically the financial sector, started with, private placement of ATMs in England, then moved to Turkey and worked as the CEO for a FIBA bank. I looked at news articles of his.
Please Google Hakan Torhan. I'm not going to do it in this video. Look, I'll do it. Hakan Torhan. Oh, wait. Shit. That's new. February 2025. Literally the first link that comes up for Hakan Torhan. What's that say? Chairman of suspected North Football Club in court for money laundering. Hakan Torhan and other defendants. Hakan Torhan personal appointments. Inside Bellator and Miracle. The future of crypto payments. Hakan Torhan. Kicked out. Football club kicked out of association. Please Google him. Miracle Cash and more. Hakan Torhan. Caught red-handed. Buttcoin. Hakan Torhan's criminal contact. Just Google Hakan. See what you find. That's all I'm saying.
Successes, his successes in Turkey. And I put all that together and I said, okay, this is a long shot. It's going to be extremely hard. But with success here, obviously we will go into the stratosphere when it comes financially, go into the stratosphere. But if we fail, it'll be egg on our face, and my name can be ruined.
There's
obviously,
egg all over your face, baby.
And I said, I'm willing to take that chance. I'm going to put all my chips in, and let's do it. Initially, I was just a franchisee, and then I kind of came in and said, well, why don't we partner up with thousands of people, and let's move this company into Europe with small investments instead of the venture capitalist route. And Hakan, he's been on the other side of the table as a venture capitalist and knows that when they go down that route, they lose so much control of the company. He did not want to put his company into that predicament because he's seen what it does, and it can actually ruin or take the whole company down because of how the venture capitalist demands are.
Venture capitalist scammed Hakan, and things happen and stuff.
Story shorter.
Short.
This is one explanation that I want to have for those who are looking at us and have come across the negativity on the internet. I'm the
negativity on the internet.
This is one of the biggest critics of our project.
That's me.
And he has done zero vetting of us,
done
actual real research. It's
have.
all him doing this as basically an alcoholic on his YouTube channel that is part cruise reviews and then part hating Miracle Cash and More.
No.
So
the truth about Miracle Cash and More. But go on.
Let me go over this.
Go
When
ahead.
considering Miracle Cash and More from perspective of a seasoned investor, a critical aspect is the audit of our code. The scrutiny serves as a validation of our company's strength, ensuring that our code is proprietary, not merely white labeled. In the tech industry, companies often invest a substantial amount, sometimes a few $100,000 in developing their code. Following this initial investment, they typically conduct a new capital raise to propel the project forward. The full fundraising cycle for technology projects involves several stages, starting with the seed stage, where the valuation is established on a piece of paper. So in the initial stage is like someone has an idea to build something technology-wise, and if they don't have the money themselves, they'll try to find it from someone else, and they sell them on the project, right? In the tech industry, companies often invest a substantial amount, sometimes a few $100,000. I read that again. At the seed stage, valuation is highly dependent on the team's quality rather than just ideas. So that was my thing when I looked at Hakan and his success in life. And this is, articles that you can literally find if you search long enough. I'll put these articles into our Telegram group and Facebook so you can see it. And it's, what Hakan was part of the team, early days, Turkey bank ATMs were separate systems.
No.
So the banks, if you had an ATM card with FIBA, you couldn't use it in another bank.
I thought you were supposed to be attacking me.
Hakan's team
I want to see how you wrap this up.
Negotiated with all the banks and said it's better that you move on to on top of one system so that whatever bank people are banking with, they can go to any ATM. And he convinced then the banks to say it's a much better system. You won't lose any money doing it. And basically he carried that all the way through and succeeded in that. So that was one big thing, one of his successes. Then the other success was that he sort of recreated how people could finance tech retail. So at the point of sale, if they wanted to buy a laptop, Mac laptop or iPhone, Turkey stopped allowing them to do that on a credit card. And so he recreated and went around those particular, not went around, but he created a new system for them to be able to do that, and basically helped one of the biggest white goods dealers, or the biggest one in Turkey, to again be able to finance, because they had the Apple license. They were the sole sellers of Apple, and when it stopped, it hurt their company. So when he built this new system, that company ended up doing $1 billion additional revenue in the first quarter, and that was another success. So I read these articles and I was like, okay, so obviously Hakan's a winner, and I'm gonna hitch my wagon to his train and let's go. Okay, so here's kind of a I would say how to follow. How does tech investments typically go? Okay, so
go on.
Typical valuation progression looks like this: 300,000 seed investment against, say, 10% of the company. So that this is not how everything is, but this could be an example of how something goes. Against 10% of the company, then that would assume a valuation of $3 million at the stage of when it's just an idea on paper. So it's an assumption that you do based on what happens if they succeed.
That makes an asset of you and me, baby.
So that seed money investors, 300,000, are usually very rich people. They got millions and millions of dollars. They throw $300,000 at something because they believe in the team and the idea, of course, but mostly that the team's going to be able to build it and complete it and have a finished product. Then when that product is finished, then of course that product has to be proven in the real world that it can make money. moving forward, and that's kind of what's, those winners are like YouTube, the winner is Google, another winner is Uber. Those are the winners. Then you have many more losers, thousands and thousands of projects that are losers. So this stage,
like
and
you,
being
Micah,
an investor in that stage is the highest risk stage that you can be an investor in, but you have a higher upside. And certain people want to play that game, others don't. So obviously our project sort of is in that particular actual environment. That's the environment of our project. It is that sort of,
what is he talking about?
It's a little bit beyond the seed stage, and I'll explain that. But it is an early stage, and it is a high risk environment.
And then they put out there, he just said it's a high risk environment. He's not told that to investors on a call in ever, but he says it on a call where he's attacking me, that it's a high risk environment. We're going to listen to this as a completion. Look, I'm drunk. I don't want to fucking hear this guy's bullshit anymore, but I'm going to keep playing it. Why? Because I'm not going to cut him off.
So, okay, so 10% against the 3 million. So then they start to build the code. So they start to write this code that's going to perform this action that was described in the white paper of what the technology was going to be able to do. And they, obviously pitch that there's a market for it and there's going to be profit there. So moving forward, the project advances to the development network, making a significant milestone. At this stage, the initial 300,000 investment can experience a minimum increase of say 1,000%, because 300,000 goes in. At that point, it's just an assumption that it's worth $3 million. But once it gets to the debt,
3,000, 300. No, I think it's got to be 30 million.
Development network, then it could potentially increase the assumption of worth of up to $15 million. From a $3,000 investment, 15 million, that means that the 3,000, 10% of the 15 million at a very good outcome is 1.5 million. So now the seed money is already showing a certain amount of success. Then you go from DevNet to beta. So we would say like DevNet would be about that the project is about 60% complete. Then it goes to beta, and when it goes into beta and it goes into mainnet, then that $15 million valuation could pop as high as, say, $16 million, $60 million, depending on the complexity of the technology. And this is typically what happens in technology, early stage development. And then if it doesn't do the 60 million, it could go to zero, because the idea seemed good, but it actually wasn't good in reality. And more projects will have that fate than the projects that turn out to be profitable projects, especially in crypto. A lot of failure in crypto.
Yeah, you're a scam.
So now that being said, I want to now go through the list of what is Miracle Cash and More in today's stage of evolution of the company.
Go on.
The company was launched in 2017 with a lot of ideas on paper, and then from 2017 to 2022, all of those ideas were then being developed. And a lot of them are mainnet, and some of them are developed DevNet. And we'll go through what those are. So if you think about like the $300,000 to $60 million example I gave, that might be a 6-month term to get from A to Z. And so it starts, and you have a team of developers, $300,000, it goes towards paying them. And then you end up at the finish line, maybe 6 months later. And in a successful finish line, you have some real value there. And the seed money guy is very happy because his $300,000 is now worth $6 million in that example. And then, once it goes into full-fledged, business being done, it could go into to hundreds of millions of dollars and even into billions of dollars, and making that $300,000 worth a lot of money.
Not for me.
Okay, so what is Miracle right now? Miracle is a crypto trading platform that is mainnet. So you can go to miraclecash.com. All of our affiliates who have earned commissions with us are using it. They're converting their Miracle
all of our affiliates that are in commission with us, that's the multi-level marketing scheme part of it. We have 12 minutes left here. 12 minutes. Let's last those 12 minutes. Go on.
Token to USDT, and then asking for a withdrawal, and then cashing out. We have a switch payment gateway.
You have nothing.
All of the transactions that are happening now are going through the switch. So there was a guy that one of Rich's best friends, Oscar Garcia, said, we don't have a switch. Oh, really? Okay. Well, how are we doing our transactions right now? Of course, you can do it through someone else's payment gateway, but we actually have our own, and that's main.
Prove it, baby.
We have the future tradings function on our exchange. That's mainnet. We have leverage trading function on our exchange in the territories where it's legal. That's mainnet. We've integrated our KYC technologies. That's mainnet. We have Fireblocks custodial wallet integration. We have also Tangani in Germany, fully insured custodial wallet integration. We have a product called Miracle Deal, which is mainnet. We have a product called Miracle with installments. That's DevNet, and that product has other other parts to it that have to be put in place. But we have integrated ourselves in 3 different countries with the country's credit data services. So like if it was the United States, that would be an Experian, for instance, that has that data. But we've done that is equivalent in Germany. It's called Schufer, and there's something different in Turkey and something different in Holland. But we've integrated our systems already with that. So that product has come a long way. And then there's also a pool of funds that need to be there and certain things. Anyway, I digress. So Miracle with installments product, DevNet. Miracle Home product software, that's more early. It is DevNet, but it also has more needs before we could say that is close to being a product we can actually use. Then we have our point of sale electronic terminal software. That's mainnet. We have stores in Cyprus that have the machine. It's out there, but we've now really hired a team to move that part of the company in Cyprus more focused, more forward. Our energies and all our focus has been on Europe. And so we haven't really put a full push on that yet, but it's coming now. But anyway, that's mainnet. No, also the Miracle Pay online is also mainnet. And I'm going to ask that we can do a video demonstration and we can post that on our site so you can see both of those products operational, and maybe we can show some admin panel now. Well, we have ATM software. We do not have any ATMs out yet, but we have the software's developed, and we have the company that's going to be doing the hardware. I forget what that is. Anyway, all that software is developed. We have the CRM, which is 5-layer CRM. So we have a company main view. We have the master franchise view. We have a multi-store owner view. We have the store manager view, and then we have the clerk view on that 5-layer CRM. And those are different access to that system. That whole CRM system is built by us. It's our software.
He's not showing it.
And it's very sophisticated.
This will be in core
software to be able to manage transactions, across the world into one CRM. So then we have also in development, we have our nodes, and we have our decentralized exchange. And that is decentralized exchange will soon be DevNet, but it's not there yet. We got our Phoenix token that's basically built and all through Fireblocks.
Not on your own
Fireblocks is doing our Miracle token and our Phoenix token. Then we have our, other assets as a company. We have our media company now, Miracle Sports. We have the fantasy football being in development.
All that shit just
we
got
have
shut down.
Cyprus football media license,
Chairman
and we
suspended
have
North
also
of
a media
report
license
for
for a
money
crypto
laundering.
channel that's coming in the future. Then we have a contract
on
with
that?
the Ministry of Tourism in Cyprus. We have 2 properties, which is basically properties that we have acquired that we're paying.
Casino on.
The payments are spread out. So we've made the first payments, and we're continuing to make payments on acquiring those casino. It's oceanfront properties with
It's a casino. He just called me a degenerate for loving casinos, but
casino license. And we have the development bank in Cyprus, a contract with them to be the bank to lend money for those projects. So that's on contract. We have purchased a public company called MetaTerra, a US-based company, and we're merging with that.
They still haven't
a
merged.
reverse merger.
Years later.
We have 6 companies in Europe. So we have a company in Germany.
As of April 2025, they're hold on. SEC, hold on, we're gonna look it up. SEC Edgar. Okay, SEC search filings. We're gonna put this in on my phone. MTRC Mediterra? No. Sorry. METATERRA. Mediterra Corporation. Okay. Edgar. That is the SEC database. All right. We have all kinds of fun shit from Mediterra. METATERRA. Mediterra Corporation. Type form. Inability. This is their latest form. So I've written to their lawyers. Scott C. Klein, baby. Scott. You should probably tell the truth. I've written to him. And Mediterra has not filed their 10K form for a period that ended December 2023. It's currently 2025. And they've not filed their 10K. Because the second they do, they're committed of crime. Look. On B number, look. They're good until April 30th, 2025. It's currently April 28th. I mean, they've look, I will tell you why they have not filed. Hold on, I need to turn sideways. Because it's one of those things. Mediterra Corp. Scott C. Klein. Look, the registrant was not without unreasonable effort or response able to file its annual report Form 10K ended December 31st, 2023 by April 1st, 2024. God. If you believe Mediterra, you're full of shit. I mean, there's some OMB approval till April 30th, 2025, but do you think that's going to be filed in 2 days? Come on, guys. Let's listen to the rest of this bullshit. We have less than 6 minutes.
France, Spain, UK, actually 2 companies in Spain. Abu Bambo is a company we bought there, and then we have our
Abu Bambo wants nothing to do with them. I've talked to the owner of Abu Bambo.
Holding company, and then we have the holding company is in Portugal. So 2 companies in Spain, and then we also are establishing a company in Italy. I think maybe we've already done that. Then we have also 2 companies in Switzerland. One is Phoenix, and the other one is Meercoin in Switzerland. We have a working relationship with Bitfinex in Holland. We have working relationship with Concetus in Germany and France. We have 4 physical locations in Cyprus and another one being completed.
Northern Cyprus.
We have 1 physical location in Amsterdam that's open, operational. We have Berlin. The store is open, but
No, it's not.
It's 50% operational. And when we finalize integration with Conceitas, then we will be 100% operational in Berlin.
Because it's all through a third party, not through them. Look. We're an hour and 39 minutes in. I am 6. Look. You're like, look. There's no... Oh, one fell down. There's no more beer. Oh, let's put a little bit of beer on myself. Being honest with you. Look, I'm going to let this play out.
We have a store that's 90% completed in Köln. We have an insurance company license in Cyprus. We have a product
Turkish
website
product
in Turkey called Dekopasai. We have banking integration in Turkey with
Again,
FIBA Bank, the largest bank in Turkey. We have other banking integration and relationship, Rice Bank, and we have Bison Bank in Europe. And I believe we have a couple of others.
But nothing in America, because the majority of their American investors are by Kathy Keene and Alton Brown. Alton Brown is an expat. He lives in Africa somewhere now. And Kathy Keene's still in Washington, as far as I know. And she's deleted all her miracle shit. That's all I'm saying.
In Holland, I forget those. But we have a contract with a GSM, a chain of GSM stores, 4,000 GSM stores.
And that all fell through. You mean the Vodafone deal?
Stores that are of authorized Vodafone resellers. They're not corporate Vodafone stores, but they have the contract to resell Vodafone, and it's all only the Vodafone service, but they
And yet that's never materialized years later.
can also sell phones. They can sell, so they're not under corporate rule of Vodafone, but they are a authorized dealer. And with them, we will be able to have our buy and sell technology in those stores so people can buy and sell crypto with cash. We will also have our terminals in those stores. And we will eventually have the miracle with installments in those stores so that we can sell a phone on a purchase contract. But what they're doing is they're buying Miracle token on a purchase contract, using that token to buy the phone. And so there'll be a payment plan on that. Then we have our Boogie Gopher Club community, which is also a cash flow NFT community, the marketing and sales program there. So, Richard.
Go ahead.
You have an addiction. You have broken your body. So now you need more and more alcohol to achieve the same effect. And when you don't drink, it's like suffering for you. And it's because you've done that. So you've brought it yourself to that level where your brain now has been damaged by the toxins and the abuse of those endorphins that you like so much. Because you're drinking with Dr. Pepper with corn syrup, that's probably the weight gain. And your liver's messed up too. That has a lot to do with the weight gain. Fine. Is it reversible? I believe to a certain degree. It is.
Wow, he's giving me medical advice.
Maybe this video is your wake-up call. I don't know. But the way you're behaving now is you're behaving as a bully.
You bullied me.
If you were a decent person, you would have contacted us first and asked us the tough questions. Maybe we would have invited you out to Cyprus.
I'm not going to Cyprus.
To look at everything, to verify that we're real. Hey, listen, if you had done this the right way, maybe you could have even been, this is kind of a far-fetched thing, but maybe you could have been a consultant. Maybe we could have been friends. But because you've done these things to us, you've hurt our investors. So you portray yourself as someone who's protecting people.
They're illegal investors.
But the actions that you've done is completely counter that. You know that it takes that level of vetting to know for sure. You said on one of your videos, like, those are just wireframes. They are not actually building the code. That's you assuming something. It's not something that you've actually taken your time to prove. It's not something that you could prove unless you asked to see the code.
I know you're scumbags.
So I don't think you're interested in that. I think all you're interested in
Right.
is now saving your face and being
I'm not
right.
saving my face, I'm
and so
right.
you benefit from hurting our company, trying to stop us from succeeding. And if you
I'm
in a
having a discussion with a guy
scenario
2
would
years
be
ago.
able to do
Year and a
that,
half ago.
then you get to be right. You get to
I
say,
am
look,
right.
I told you.
I did.
And I think that's your motivation at this stage.
I'm right. Yeah.
You are a bully, you're an
Yep.
alcoholic, and you're full of vitriol and hate, and you don't care about people. That's a lie. That's fake.
You called me an alcoholic.
If you did, you would have been more careful with your approach to us. You would have given us a chance
No, I wouldn't have.
to show you
You're
who we
scumbags.
are, but you never did. And
Scumbags.
therefore, the conclusion is that you are just a bully with interest only in yourself, but you're
Nope.
also hating yourself. And the demonstration of that is what you're doing to yourself.
He's moving a mouse around.
That's my verdict on this man.
Congratulations.
If you follow him, at least now you know what you're following.
Wow. And that's it. In 3, 4. We watched the whole thing. Why did I watch the whole thing? I knew the guy had nothing to say. Look, search from NoPantsProfits saying that unless you're referring people, Miracle Cash and More, Boogie Gopher Club, Miracle Estates, Mediterra, all these, they're scams. And you know what? Y'all are sitting there wearing no pants, like me. You know what happens when you wear no pants? The only thing you have left to lose? Oh yeah, that's what it is. Oh, I got a mic up here. Oh yeah. See it? It's your shirt. You want to see my man boobs? They're right there. They're right there for you. Micah. You are going to get federally charged in court one day. It's probably soon as September in Nolans. September. It's on my calendar. Hold on, let me look at my calendar. I don't know. I don't have your shit on my calendar, except there's like a September, April, May, June, July, August, September. Miracle Scam New Orleans from September 28th to Friday from September 28th. September 26th. I'll be in New Orleans. I don't want to be in New Orleans. I'm gonna meet your people right outside your venue. You can trespass me, whatever you want. But I'm gonna tell people the truth. And this is Richard from NoPantsProfits saying, Micah, I've tried for years and you're done. And I took a 6-pack down. Look. And when you wear no pants, baby, nothing you have left to lose. That is your shirt. Have a great one. Love y'all. Any questions? Comment down below. Or nopantsprofits@gmail.com or richard@nopantsprofits.com. Have a great one. Bye.